It's almost time. Welcome. If you're already there, you can get like your props and things. We're still going to wait for 1 more minute until it's 4:30. So make sure you have blankets, bolsters, cushions, all the things you can gather around to make your practice more comfortable. So I think it's about time. So welcome everyone. Namaste. So if you see me for the first time now, because I know a lot of people also connect from all over the world to watch the online version of Delight. My name is Daphne, and I'm a yin teacher at Delight, and also I teach Ashtanga. But for now, online I do the yin version. And actually, this is going to be, I think, the last one I'm going to do online, because hopefully we're going to go back to meeting you all in person again. So if that's possible in July, I'm really hoping that that's going to happen. So I'm not going to do the online version then, or maybe later. But for now, this is, I think, the last one. So I hope you're going to enjoy it. We're going to do a session today a little bit for stimulating liver qi and gallbladder, and we all know that it's good for to detox your body, and especially in this time, still it's very good to take really good care of yourself. And so doing yin poses for the liver and gallbladder will help you to release that toxicity in the body, but it can also be mentally, emotionally toxicity. So let's see what happens today. It's going to be a 1 hour and 15 minutes, a little bit shorter than normal. So please, if you haven't got your props yet with the yin, it's always important that you bring props to your mat in order to help you to surrender more easily in the poses, as we do yin with the muscles completely relaxed. So first, I like to sit for a moment just to become centered within yourself and be able to dive into this beautiful practice of yin. So enjoy. I'm sitting on a blanket a little bit higher, as it helps me to tilt a little bit. So my spine is actually arching instead of rounding. So this is really supportive. So for that, sit a little bit higher, especially when your knees are higher than your hips. Heighten yourself that the knees can come down. You can sit in a cross-legged position, or maybe on your knees. If it's really uncomfortable, just take a chair. That's also fine, but make sure that the back is supported and your head is free. So take a deep breath in as you lift the shoulders up and roll them on the back, and exhale. Just let your chin drop in, close your eyes. And just let your hands rest wherever they feel comfortable and rested. So maybe on the knees, the thighs, or in your lap. And first, feel your sit bones connecting to the earth. So you lengthen through your spine all the way to the top of your head, the crown. Feel your shoulders being relaxed and your facial muscles soften. So relaxing the cheeks, the mouth, your jaw. The tongue in your mouth can be softer. You press it slightly against the palate, the roof. So as the tip of your tongue is touching the back of the upper teeth, keeps your throat open, and let the air move in and out through your nostrils, and feel the sensation of that when you breathe in and breathe out. Might feel a little bit warmer than the inhalation as your shoulders start to relax. And really feel if you're equally dividing the weight under the sit bones. As you become aware of your breath, Allowing the breath to move down towards the belly and feel the expansion of the belly on an inhalation. And the exhalation follows and draws the belly back towards the spine. And try not to think too much about it, but let it happen. Just sink the energy into that center point somewhere in your body. Feel that you can allow yourself to fully pay your attentive awareness to the here and the now. And so consciously letting go of thoughts, or maybe not letting go, but letting them be. And just become aware of the fact that you are having these thoughts, and it's just a part of your nature. They come and go. It's not a big deal. They're there. And they have a mind of their own, but you can take your attention to the present moment. And a good tool for that is your breath as you breathe in. And you breathe out, observing thoughts, feelings, emotions. Really check in with yourself. Be really honest to this very moment. So it's that becoming aware and letting it be. No need to fix or change. So just have a couple of minutes for centering and checking in silence. Just keep noticing your breath. So if you like, you can bring your hands together in front of your heart space and set an intention for your practice. Anything you like to dedicate your practice to today. Anything, any person, situation. And then gently let go of your hands. You can open your eyes as you keep your gaze soft and just stretch your legs out. So it's always good to rotate the ankles or rub the legs and maybe making some sort of a counter pose just to let the energy flow again through your body as you arch your back, drop your head back, take a very deep breath in, and just exhale out through your mouth, and just walk your feet towards the edges of your mat where you drop your knees to the left. You can gaze over your right shoulder and move to the other side. You can really do this in your own time, in your own pace. Just feel your hips. So we're gonna move into our hips today. And then you come back to a center point. So let's start in butterfly. This will stimulate the lower meridians, but also the upper body a little bit as you make that forward bend. So bring the soles of the feet together, not too closely in, but just a little bit further. And you can always heighten yourself as it helps to make that forward bend. Now here, you can use your props, have them in reach because it's otherwise difficult. You have to get off your mat. So cushion, maybe a block. As you move forward, you can also feel a little bit more consciously into your hips. I like to sway a little bit sometimes. It's quite stiff there. So I take my time as I can rest my head on a block, or maybe you've been creative by using a book with a blanket on top. And as your knees drop to the side, you can also allow your knees to be, or thighs to be supported by blocks or anything that you have. So make that forward bend. So you allow your spine to round. You can drop your hands next to you, open or close, that's your choice. And as you become aware of your breath again, you can make that breath deeper and let it fully connect with your belly area. So that deeper way of breathing will help you stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system. Probably lots of you know that that is the rest and digest mode. And so the body can basically be in two modes, which is the rest, digest, relaxation, or into action, or even stress in worst cases. And it happens to all of us that we just get out of balance because we're not so aware of the impact that the world has on us. And it's always good to just question yourself. How do I feel at this very moment? And especially your emotional state. And really acknowledge that. Really acknowledge what you feel right now at this very moment. As you give it room to breathe, you give it room to just be. It's almost like you're not identifying with that emotion, that the emotion doesn't attach to a situation. But you see the emotion more as energy in motion. As it flows through you. That's what an emotion is. It comes and it goes. It doesn't stay. So if you feel impatient right now or irritated, give yourself permission to feel that and just sink deeply into that feeling. And of course, you feel the body maybe being in resistance to that what is, and so you allow that too. And here the breath is, again, a very powerful tool which helps you to breathe through it.
Check in with your breath. As the breath moves towards the belly, as you relax in the abdomen area, even the pelvic floor muscles soften. Dropping your shoulders, just hang into those. And if you feel the body is more open, then you just move deeper, maybe taking a prop away. And also don't force yourself into a position that is too deep too quickly. Just really listen. What do you need? So if you don't hear me talk, then don't worry. I'm still here, but I also want to give you the opportunity to really dive deeply into your own inner journey without my voice being, there all the time. It can also be a distraction, of course, so make it your own practice. And if you need to come out of the pose before, just feel free to do that. You can always come lie on your back or take child's pose. Just stay for a few more breaths here. So on your next inhale, just slowly make your way up. Take your time, no need to rush. And you can just close the legs and stretch them out again. So it's just to lean back. It's a counter pose for the forward bend. Just circle the ankles clockwise, counterclockwise. Maybe a little bit of shaking, rubbing. And also the movement that you move your knees to the left, gaze over your right shoulder, and just move to the other side. Take a deep breath. Just really feel into your hips, moving the knees individually. And then for the next one, it's a little bit more active, so a little bit more yang-like. Move your props to the front so you can reach out for them. I will start with the left side as I'm already in that direction so you can see better what I'm doing. So it's the dragon, which there are a lot of varieties for that, but make sure that the right knee is supported. So the left foot, you can walk it to the left and have your hands on the inside. Now you lean into your hips, and so the liver channel actually enters the upper body in the groin. That's why you can just really hang into your hips. You can lean forward. You can also find a little bit height, but make sure that you kind of like lean also into that right hip flexor. So this side is actually extending, while the left side, there's like more of a compression kind of feeling. And see if you can hold it for, let's say, 4 minutes. We stay for 4 minutes into the posture, and you can go as deep as you want, of course. And so I give you a modification for this well if you want to do it, let's say, without the, let's say more the yang kind of action. This is more yin, still a little bit yang for the arm, but just a half happy baby can also be stimulating that channel, that liver channel right in your groin. It's the same sort of action, but a little bit more yin-like. So finding your edge, and you become quiet again. You can close your eyes if you want to. And if your hands on the floor is just a little bit too deep, just lean on top of your left thigh. You can do that too. So it's a little bit more upright. And as you try to relax your muscles as much as you can, at the same time you observe that what comes and goes. Really use the power of your breath. So important that your lungs are healthy in this time. So expand your lungs. Feel the capacity of your lung space. Just the awareness of it is already healing as you notice how deep you can breathe, and that breath doesn't really is limited to, let's say, the lung space, but that chi is everywhere in your body, and just by a deeper way of breathing, you can just stimulate the energy flowing through your meridians. I think it's already 3 minutes, so we have 1 more minute to go. See if you can hold. Just breathing in and out. And notice where you feel it and direct your attention towards that place. Maybe your arms start to shake a little bit. That's fine too. Just already the knowing that you can always come out. You don't have to stay forever. Also check if you don't have your back toe tucked under. Just let your foot be flat on your mat. So even though it's challenging in a yang kind of way, you want to bring in as much yin as you can. So if you're ready, you can kind of like just only walk your left foot towards the right and drop the left knee down as we move into sleeping swan right away. So when you go down, you can still support your knee if you have to. You can also take that blanket away and then just resting in sleeping swan. Make sure that the knee, the left knee especially, is not compromised. This one can be modified by eye of a needle. Then you just take a lying position. You lay down and you place your left foot on top of the right thigh and hold on to the left knee and pull that in. So the target area here is the left gluteal side. You can feel that on the left side. So it's this part of your body, the IT band and the glutes, corresponding with the gallbladder channel. So find your edge, become quiet, and just rest here for a little while. And maybe you need to shift a couple of times just to find the right position. It doesn't always happen right away. Don't worry. But eventually you want to come to stillness. So keep checking the bodies, the physical body, the emotional or astral. What about your causal or thoughts, mind? Can you just see your thoughts as something that comes and goes without an opinion or a judgment or finding the identification with your thoughts? Can you let go of that and just observe? And if it's hard, just remind that the breath is always in the moment. It's always here, connecting you to nowness. And just see what comes up, what pops out up. Deep breath. You can also exhale through your mouth. It's really nice to release that energy through the mouth, into the nose, out through the mouth. Let's stay for one more minute if you can. Maybe you like to come up a little bit for a couple of breaths into swan, which is just having the arms straight, maybe on your fingertips as you arch your back. You can also stay in sleeping swan. That's your choice. Keep bringing the energy towards the ground, towards the earth, into your hips.
So if you can, for the last couple of breaths, drop your head back, take a deep breath. Last breath, take a deep breath in towards the belly and let it expand to the sideways, into your lower back, into your kidneys. Deep breath. And then on the exhale, just shift your weight to the left as you just swing that right leg forward slowly. And then just lie on your back just for a couple of minutes. And this we call being in a state of observation. Just you can literally feel the effects of the poses as I feel the energy flowing through my hips and my legs. It's really a nice feeling. You can close your eyes, maybe cover them with something to make it more dark. And just feel if there's any tension left, which you can let go of. Just feel your heels resting on the floor. If you can't lie on your back, you can always lie on your belly if you want. That's okay too. But make sure that you're not holding tension. Just drop it. It's almost like you're falling through the ground into the abyss, where you kind of float weightless. So take a deep breath in and then exhale out. And then gently start to hug your knees into your chest one by one. You can hold on to your knees or wrap your arms around the knees or thighs and just roll a little bit on your back so you can feel the spine and the muscles around it, the deeper, thick muscles, the intrinsic muscles. You can massage them. And then from here, lift your legs up towards the sky. Place your hands underneath the buttocks with the palms down, slightly contracting your abdomens when you lower the legs until you hover above your mat to hinge to an upright position. And so we go to the other side where we step our right foot forward. Now, remember to use a blanket, maybe underneath the left knee. If you have like a really pointy patella, so you knieschijf. I don't even know the another word in English, but it's that hard little piece on your knee, that little piece of bone. You can also roll your blanket thick and then place your knee over it so it's kind of floating, so you don't even touch the mat. So on your hands again, walk your right foot a little bit to the right and just feel a position where you can stay and hold yourself for a longer period of time. And time is, of course, very relative. So just try not to think too much about it. Just be in that position. Feel the extension of the left hip flexor and feel in your right groin, that pressure. You can even roll on the right side of your foot. So there's a different kind of sensation. It's all very subtle, but it's very personal. And you can go as deep as you want. You can even make it a twisting dragon, just to allow your head to be falling down a little bit. Just feel into your neck. Just always come back to your breath whenever you feel distracted by all kinds of thoughts, worries, ideas. It's a very good time to just reflect a little bit and keep noticing what your tendencies are, like the patterns or the conditioned mind, how you react to things almost instantaneously without even having time in between to observe. So yin is really a practice where you can also develop these beautiful qualities like patience and becoming less reactive, but more taking action from maybe a more, I wouldn't say thoughtful way, but it's more that you give yourself that time to really feel what is there instead of reacting out of defending or fear, basically. So move yourself back into trust. Trusting who you are, what you want, what you need, what you feel. And so liberty out of balance always sort of activates this emotion of anger and frustration, a sense of feeling stuck in life. And so exactly these poses will help you to bring back the quality of compassion and or empathy even. It's also a bit of a same quality that the heart has. The heart also is able to feel compassion in a big way.
Passion always is something that happens when you are able to include things, even though they're difficult or maybe difficult to understand. But you can feel that space within yourself. We're all one species, and we're all going through the same things. So let's make the shift to sleeping swan on the other side, or eye of a needle. Take your time for that, as it's just walking your left foot to the right. Make sure that the knee is okay. You don't feel any pain there. And just finding a comfortable way to lie down. So this could be, oops, I hope you can still hear me. So find a comfortable way to relax into. So remember, it's about the target area. It doesn't matter if your foot is more forward or backward. You just don't want to feel pressure in the knee, and you want to feel that gluteal stretch. So gallbladder chi is stimulated in that way. So you take a deep breath. And take your time to find that right position. So melt and merge into the posture. Surrender to that gravitational pull. Gravity is pulling you towards the earth always. And just keep observing what comes up. So you check in for a moment with your breath. Notice how the air is actually moving in and out. If you can still feel your belly getting bigger on the inhale.
And see if you can notice the resistance without feeling the need to react on it. 2 simple steps: becoming aware and just allow it. Okay. You want to stay for a little while. You can do that too, or come on to your hands. And just shift that sensation a little bit more into your backbone, to your spine. And so you can breathe into your belly, sideways, kidneys. You can even drop your head back to feel a different sensation, even your throat. You can feel that sensation or stretch on the front. Very subtle. Take one more deep breath. And then shift your weight to the right. Swing that left leg forward. Take your time. And just lie down on your back. And it's very common that the left and the right side feels very different from each other. So I definitely feel more stiffness in that right side. So I lie on my back, resting my hands on my belly. But you can also bring the arms to the side, or maybe even if you feel that the lower back is aching, you can just place your feet on your mat as you walk them to the edges and drop your knees in towards each other. Just kind of tuck the tail under and keep tucking your chin in so the spine is lengthening here. So it's all good. And so if you place something on your eyes, eye cushion or eye pillow, knowing that it has also a major effect on the parasympathetic nervous system, especially the vagus nerve, directly gets stimulated. So it's really nice. We take about another minute and a half, so relax here.
As you take another conscious deep breath in and just exhale. And then slowly, very slowly hug your knees into your chest. And you can once again wrap your arms around the shins or knees and just massage a little bit the spine, the sacrum. You can also hold on to your knees individually and make some big circles. So the thigh bone moves into the hip socket, and also make that movement both ways. So big circles, counterclockwise and clockwise. And when you're ready, you can lift your legs up towards the sky again. Hands underneath the buttocks with the palms down, so you have a way to hinge yourself to an upright position. Remember, especially when you have lower back issues, that you always contract your belly muscles whenever you come up in that way, because it kind of helps to protect the lower back. So the next one is dragonfly, which is with the legs apart. So just bring them as wide as you can. And also here I give you some other options, but first I explain this one. It's just the stimulation, especially of the liver channel, which is on the inside. Also the kidneys is there in the spleen, but this one really will stretch the liver channel. So see if you can sit up straight first, so you're not falling back. If you feel you're falling back, I'm going to give you another option. But here it's just a forward bend with the upper body. So feel into your groins. If you feel that there's too much pressure on the back of the knees, so the knee cavities, just place something there, blankets, bolsters, blocks, whatever you have around you. And then here you want to come down into a position where you can actually really relax your arms and head down. So it's just a forward bend with the legs very wide, and see if you can just allow your feet to roll in or out. That's just the way you're built. So it's just that you're not flexing. So this creates, let's say, muscular contraction, and we want to let go of that. So the other option is when you fall back, you can also do wide knee child's poses. So that's also very wide. Feel the inner thigh stretch. Try to sit on your heels or even a cushion in between. So you can just sit on that. If this is not touching, if your buttock is not touching the heels, and then come forward. So the target area is the inner thigh. So you want to feel that. If you have a wall at home where you can put your feet up, then you can also do that. So you just kind of move closely towards the wall sideways. And when you just lift your legs up like this, pull yourself towards the wall and bring the legs apart, so you can just let them rest like this. So this is also the inner thigh stretch that you feel. Okay, so choose the one you prefer. I'm just going to move back to the first one. Just stay. If you are in it, just give yourself that moment to relax into it. Give yourself the time to get there. No rush. You can always come out. So here, resting and observing. Quite intense, this one, especially in the beginning. So I really feel that these poses are very helpful. It's always important to release that toxicity out of your body. Something that the body does by itself, but it's very valuable to learn how you can stimulate the self-healing capacity of the body just by doing some simple yin poses. So feel the relaxation in your legs, your arms, your shoulders, and just let yourself melt and sink in. And even though your mind is just telling you to get out or that you don't like it, it's all normal and natural that those thoughts come to mind, but you just keep observing them, not attaching to them and not rejecting them either. Just be neutral. Check in with your feet. Just feel the soles of your feet softening, your toes, your ankles. Maybe one foot falls in and the other a little bit more out. That happens. No worries. And if you feel that the body is opening up, just maybe take a prop away and move deeper into the pose. So finding a balance somewhere where you're not doing too much, but you're not doing too little either. Just right. So it's good to check in if you're able to be soft and kind towards yourself. Just notice where you feel it and know that it has effect everywhere in the body. These lines connect to each other, even they connect to the chakras which are rooted in your spine, spinal cord. And it happens sometimes that you just kind of see colors or experience other things that are maybe not related to the visible world. See if you can hold for another minute, and maybe you need to come up. Still sitting with your legs apart, but just a little bit less strong. Okay. And just take your time to come up. You can grab your legs, pull them in. So hug your knees into your chest. If you're at the wall, you can also bring your legs together, hug your knees into your chest. You can wrap your arms around the knees and just rest your forehead on your head. If you are in wide knee child's pose, come into a neutral child pose. And then you can also come either up into this position or just stay in child's pose. You can really feel the release of tension on the inner thigh muscles. And so we're going to come into a twist. So if you bring your props to the left, you can lie on your back. And you can hug your knees into your chest first. You can bring your right knee over the left. You can hook your foot behind the calf. You don't have to, but keep hugging your knees into your chest a little bit higher. And then move your knees towards the left. See if you need a bolster there. So you can rest your knees on the bolster. With your left hand, you can place it on the right thigh or knee and then extend the right arm to the right as you turn your head to the right. So really put some emphasis on that right shoulder. And just push your knees down a little bit. So you feel a twist, but you also feel a little bit of a pull here on that right gluteal side again. And then when you find an edge, just for a minute or so, just relax into this pose. You can also feel that slight twist in your spine as you breathe into your belly. And let it expand to the sideways into your lower back. And you can make that twist as deep as you want. Of course, when you don't have any props there, you can twist a little bit deeper, but just make it a comfortable twist. Just breathing in and breathing out. It's relaxing. And then gently move back to center. To the other side where the left knee comes over the right. And then hook your knee or not. Just want to move your props to the other side. It's very simple. Drop the knee down. Extend the left arm to the left as you turn your head towards the left. You can just push your thigh down a little bit. See if you can bring it up a little bit higher. And really go as deep as you need. And don't force yourself in anything. Just experience. Empty out. Make yourself heavy. You still are in that state of observation. And then slowly come back to center. Unhook the knees. Pull your knees in and then just lift your legs up towards the sky, hands underneath the buttocks with the palm down, and then gently lower yourself to hinge to an upright position. And so we come already to the end of our class. It goes really fast. So I like to invite you to come and sit in a comfortable way or just to lie down for Shavasana. Make sure that you're warm, that you can relax. So if you lie down already for Shavasana, I will ring the gong when it's time to get out, or maybe you prefer to stay in your Shavasana a little bit longer. So just choose whatever you feel today. 5 minutes we have, and otherwise continue longer. You can stay as long as you want, of course. You can also come and sit up, and like I'm sitting again on a blanket. So let's see. Just take a deep breath. Roll your shoulders on the back as you rest your hands on your knees, your thighs, or in your lap. Drop your chin slightly in. Lengthen through your spine. All the way to the crown of the head, and just first feel the effect of your practice today. Notice the difference when you were sitting, when you started this class, and how you feel now. And so once more, focus on your breath when you're sitting up. And if you are in Shavasana, maybe check if the position you took is giving you the opportunity to relax fully. And either the meditation or Shavasana can be also done with the eyes open. See if you can keep your focus somewhere. So that's your choice. And let's just have a few minutes in silence. So feel free to continue in Shavasana or meditation. Or if you like, you can bring your hands together in front of your heart space. So you briefly remind yourself on the intention of today's practice. Namaste. Thank you. Thanks everyone for watching. I will see you soon, hopefully. Enjoy your day, enjoy your Sunday. Keep healthy and happy and peaceful. Bye-bye.